Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Martin Wenzel. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Hope you're having a good day. Don Sale is first. Welcome in. Streaming on YouTube live this morning, October 17th. World Tour Flight 270. We're at Ninoy Aquino International Airport in Metro Manila in the Philippines. We're headed up to Taiwan Taoyuan International Airport in Taipei. Flight today is Philippine Airlines 890, flown in real life in the Airbus A321, but we don't have that plane, so we're doing the FlyByWire A20N, the Airbus 20neo. We're going to be taking off about 6:05 a.m. here out of the Philippines, so let's get inside the plane and get up. Do our safety check, make sure our master switch is off. Ignition normal, weather radar off, landing gear lever down, and the wipers both off. Battery switch is off. We want to make sure they are above 25.5 volts. They are. We can take the battery. There they go. We do have external power available, so we'll turn that on as well. Some of the lighting so we can see. Turn off our flashlight. Nav and logo lights. Fuel pump. Fire test for the AQ. And we'll hit the master switch. 3 seconds. On. Cam. Starts spooling up. Fueling up. Go outside. Alright, cockpit lights as required. Great. Parking brake is on. Accu and brake pressure. Check that it's in the green area right there. That's good. Flaps are retracted at 0. Ground spoilers retracted.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. We're ready to start boarding. Are we okay to begin?
Yes, you can start boarding if you're ready.
No worries. I'll get the rest of the crew organized, and we'll make a start in a couple of minutes once the passengers start arriving from the terminal.
You bleed on. Air conditioning panel, check no white lights. X-bleed is auto, temperature selector set, electrical panel. Also checking for no blue except for the generator. Got the 2 orange lights for the generators. A ventilation panel, check all lights are off. They are. Can't recall button. Actually, yeah. Riffles is more. Oh. Door page, oxygen. Good. Hydraulic page. Not sure what I'm looking for there. Doesn't actually have any quantity for us. And the engine. Back up top. All the white lights. Oxygen supply, ground control on. PR test. 1. Emergency lights armed. Booking lights on. lights. Do the fuel pause for now. Fire test for the engines. Alright. All set there. Hit GSX to start loading passenger.
Boarding requested. Do you want to board crew? Passengers boarding started.
No clearance Philippine 890 at gate 13. Request clearance to Taiwan or Taipei with information Oscar.
990 cleared to Taiwan, Taoyuan by Olive 2 Charlie. Departure runway 13. Initial climb 9,200. Then is filed. Squawk 6564.
Cleared to Taiwan, Taoyuan via Olive 2 Charlie. Departure runway 13. Initial climb 9,200. Then is filed. Squawk 6564. Philippine 890.
Philippine 890 red back correct. When ready, contact Manila ground 122.0.
122.0. Philippine 890.
Alright, runway 13. Heading of 136. That in. Actually, all away. Let's put that there so I remember. Squawk 655 6564. Got up in there. Get ready, go. Our baggage coming. Get them loading in here as well. Fuel 6,500 we need today.
Ground to cockpit. Go ahead.
162 passengers.
Hi there, we're now refueling the aircraft and we'll let you know once it's completed. Roger.
Pull this all in from SimBrief, our uplink. Our departure, arrival, and our alternate Taichung Hong Airport. Flight number 890, cost index of 8, cruising at 36,000, flight level 360. Our next page, get our we can actually get our zero fuel weight, 59.6. Go 30. Planning. Let's check the SimBrief. Thus our rule of number 11. Look at our trip wind there. Average wind component -5, so that wind. Flight plan. Double checking everything. So out to cab. Bravo 462. We'll need to adjust it with that departure. To Lao. Mike 646. Airway, you can see it there. OTIB. And on to Quebec 14. Tango November. Then we'll plug this all right in right away and change it. Tango November 1 Alpha.
Manila clearance, clear at 3.5, gate 18, request clearance to Romeo Papa Victor India with information Papa. Cool Red 315, cleared to Romeo Papa Victor India, 5 Victor Echo Romeo Delta 2 Charlie, departure
taking off
runway
using
13,
the Olive,
initial climb, flight level
runway
170,
13.
then is filed, squawk,
Olive.
6551. Cleared to Ilo, 5 Victor Echo Romeo Delta 2 Charlie, departure, runway 13, initial climb, flight level 170, then as filed, squawk, 6551, cool Red 315. Cool Red 315, redback correct. When ready, contact Manila ground, 122.0. 122.0, Cool Red 315.
Right. Iris page, performance page. Runway 13.
Ground to cockpit. Go ahead. Hi, Captain. Just to let you know that the aircraft is now fueled as requested. Roger.
Alright, so there's a little performance calculator I use. It's giving us a flex of 67, so put that in here. Regular flap configuration of 1. D-speeds 145, 146.
KLM 806, heavy, gate 70, request clearance to Whiskey Mike Kilo with information Papa. KLM 806, heavy, cleared to Whiskey Mike Kilo 5 Bravo Echo Tango Echo 2 Charlie, departure, runway 13, initial climb, flight level 140, then is filed, squawk, 6572. Cleared to Kuala Lumpur Sabang, 5 Bravo Echo Tango Echo 2 Charlie, departure, runway 13, initial climb, flight level 140, then as filed, squawk, 6572, KLM 806, heavy. KLM 806, heavy, redback correct. When ready, contact Manila ground, 122.0.
Right. So the box is
122.0, KLM 806, heavy.
Quick scan here, glare shield, lights look good, altimeter 1012, standby 1012, and the first officer 1012. Flight director buttons on, landing system buttons off, FAS mode as required, we got it set, speed dashed, heading, knocked it off there, that, anti-skid nose wheel steering on, and I made standby instrument checked, lock checked, weather radar off, status page, that, have the one door open, Cockpit door. Check and set. That. Thrust levers idle. Engine 1 and 2 master switches off. Engine mode normal. Parking brake on. Gravity gear extensions stowed.
Manila clearance, Cathay 902, heavy, parking 27, request clearance to Alcon with information Papa.
Auto.
Cathay
C1.
902, heavy, cleared to Hong Kong by Alpha 2 Victor, departure, runway 13, initial climb,
Cargo
flight
set,
level
gas
210,
standby.
then as filed, squawk 6573.
Clear to Alcon by Alpha Line Pop Alpha 2 Victor, departure, runway 13, initial climb.
Manila ground, Philippine 890, gate 13, request pushback and startup.
Philippine 890, pushback and startup approved.
Pushback and startup approved, Philippine 890.
Manila ground, Cathay 902, heavy, parking 27, request pushback and startup.
Hopefully this works for us.
Cat 902, heavy, pushback and startup approved.
Hello, Captain.
Pushback
We
and
are ready
startup
for
approved.
pushback.
Cathay 902, heavy. Manila ground, Cathay 902, heavy, request taxi.
Hey, before start checklist down to the line. Cockpit preparation completed. Gear pins and covers removed. Signs on
Taxi to holding point
and
runway
auto.
13 by Delta, Bravo, Charlie, Cathay
Departure checks
902,
completed.
heavy.
Bypass
Gear
pin
set to
inserted.
nav. Fuel 6,500 kilos. Takeoff data set. Barrel ref 1012 knot. Our clearance. Windows and doors are closed. Supplies check armed.
Philippine 209,
Cam door page
heavy,
checked.
parking
Beacon
22,
light
request
on.
pushback and startup.
Stroke is set to auto.
Philippine 209, heavy, pushback and startup approved.
Pushback and startup approved, Philippine 209, heavy.
Excellent.
Manila ground, Philippine 209, heavy, request taxi.
Locking gear.
Philippine 209, heavy, taxi to holding point runway 13 via Alpha, Bravo, Charlie.
Taxi to holding point, runway 13, via Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Philippine 209, heavy.
Course our checklist below the line. Windows and doors closed. Beacon light on. Thrust levers idle. Parking brake on. 4-star checklist.
Release parking brakes. Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Ignition. Starting engine 2. Right at 16%, we'll have that ignition.
Hello.
Hi there, Captain. All of the
22%, the
passengers
fuel
are
flow
now on
should start
board.
increasing.
We're just awaiting the load sheet from ground. As soon
it's
as we
not.
have it, feel free
Fuel
to
pumps
close the
on.
doors.
No problem. I'll
be on
bring
a
it to you
checklist,
as
I would
soon
think.
as they send it up.
There's our fuel
You
flow.
still have time to do the welcome announcement. That should pass some of the time.
Good morning from the cockpit. This is your captain speaking. I'd like to welcome you on board this morning's flight to
Set parking
Taipei.
brakes.
We're currently preparing for departure up here in the cockpit, and once we're airborne, we'll be climbing to our cruise level of 36,000 feet. We hope to depart very shortly. We're not expecting any delays. Once we push back from the stand, the cabin crew will start securing the cabin. As we head to the departure runway, please make sure you're seated and secured as they make their way around the aircraft. The weather is looking good, so it should be a nice, comfortable climb up to our cruise level. Once we're airborne, there shouldn't be any issue during our climb. It's a pretty straightforward departure out of the airport, so nothing to worry about there. The wind forecast during our cruise looks very favorable, so we expect to arrive on time at our destination, but we will of course keep you up to date should there be any changes. The ground crew have finished loading the aircraft, so if you could get yourself seated and secured, we'll be able to get going straight away. Thank you very much for flying with us, and I hope you enjoy the flight.
Ignition. And fuel flow.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
RCTP. Flaps 1. Okay, ignition normal. CPU bleed off, masters off. Ground spoilers armed, rudder trim 0. Pitch trim set. Flap set for takeoff. No warnings. After start checklist. Anti-ice off. ECAM status checked. Pitch trim set. Rudder trim 0. After start checklist. Checker flight controls. Pull up. Pull down. Right. Left. Neutral. Rudder. Left. Right. Okay, auto brake max. Taxi clearance.
Ground to cockpit. Go ahead.
Continue taxi. Cathay 902, heavy.
Loading has been completed. We're sending the load sheet up to you now.
Request taxi.
We'll contact you once the aircraft is closed up, then we'll get you moving.
Philippine 890,
Roger.
taxi to holding point 113 via Delta, Bravo, Charlie.
Taxi
Olympia,
to holding
bonjour.
point runway 13 via Delta, Bravo,
Hello.
Charlie, Philippine
Hi,
890.
Captain. Okay, we've received the load sheet from ground. There's the passenger count, the crew count, and the total souls count, plus yourselves, of course.
Yes, we didn't actually.
Thank you.
Okay, looks like we're all set. Go whenever you're ready.
All right, you can close the doors whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'll let the crew know as soon
Yeah,
as it's
I was a
done.
little too fast with self-loading cargo.
Delta.
That's alright.
Taxi to gate 20 via
Alright, so we're gonna be taxiing Delta Bravo Charlie.
265.
Doesn't match up anything on.
Call red 315. Contact Ninoy Tower 118.1.
Find our way over there. I think we're gonna go to Lima.
Cool red 315.
Possibly. Yeah. Lima over. Very poorly designed. Oh, we're headed that direction. At least.
Ground to cockpit. Go ahead. Cabin crew, arm the doors, please. Just a reminder, if you're using software to track your virtual airline flights, you might want to start it now if you haven't already. We're ready to disconnect.
Yeah, we've been
Thanks very much.
disconnected already.
Pin straight ahead and we'll see you again soon.
Mabuhay! Welcome on board this Philippine Airlines flight. Before we depart, We want to let you know how much we care about your safety. This is inspired by everyone in the country for the safety of everyone in this flight.
Hold position, Philippine 890.
Before settling down, be sure all carry-on items are securely stowed in the overhead compartment and small heavy items under the seat in front of you. Let us also ensure that all aisles and exit rows are clear of any items.
Smoking in the airplane is strictly
go.
prohibited. This includes
They don't give us the best taxi instructions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slide over here to...
Also, tampering with, disabling, or destroying laboratory smoke detectors is a serious
chart is
offense.
even a little funky. Doesn't really let us know.
Please set your mobile and tablet devices to airplane
long
mode.
taxiway.
Be sure to store large devices at this
Or they're just
time.
all
And also,
numbered.
please switch off all
Kinda
your
weird.
transmitting portable electronic devices. If your gadget slips between
This
the
might be
seats,
Charlie
do
4.
not adjust the seat. Please call a cabin crew member for assistance.
Way too few.
Fasten your seatbelt throughout the flight, especially during takeoff and landing.
To fasten your seatbelt, insert the metal end into the buckle until you hear it click. To tighten, pull the loose end of the strap. To release your seatbelt, lift the top of the buckle and pull
Continue
free
taxi,
in.
Philippine
Also,
890.
please fasten your seatbelt over your blanket so our crew can easily see that you're safely strapped in.
Should there be a rapid change in cabin pressure, oxygen masks will automatically drop in front of you. When this happens, pull mask firmly towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Place it over your nose and mouth, pull the elastic band for a snug fit and breathe normally. The oxygen will flow even if the bag is not inflated. Remember to put on your own mask first before assisting others. Keep mask on until you're advised to remove it.
Emergency exits are clearly marked along each side of the cabin. Please locate the nearest exit, which may be behind you. Map markings will guide you to the emergency exit.
Taxi to holding point runway 13 via Charlie, car 625 heavy.
In the event of an emergency landing, remove all sharp objects from your body. Wait for instructions to go into this brace position.
In case of a water landing, your life vest can be found under your seat or inside your center console. To use your life vest, place it over your head. Wrap the belt around your waist and push the end to buckle. Inflate your life vest by pulling down the inflation cords at the bottom or by blowing through the mouth tube. To release air, push pin inwards. Inflate the life vest only outside the aircraft. Your life vest light will automatically switch on once submerged in water.
We've covered almost everything, but before takeoff and landing, please have your seatbelt securely fastened. Your footrest, tray table, and in-seat monitors stowed. Window shade raised, and your seat in an upright position. Daghang salamat!
Now that we're all settled,
Now,
you can learn
obviously,
more about our
really,
in-flight
we would
safety
call a
procedure
tower
when
there.
reading the safety card found in the
Across the
seat
runway.
pocket in front of you.
Also, please be extra careful when handling hot beverages.
Ladies and gentlemen, sit back and relax as we're about to take off. We hope you enjoyed this in-flight safety video made by the Filipino, for the Filipino, and for the world.
Or anything.
Mabuhay! From Philippine Airlines, the heart of the Filipino.
Cat 8902 heavy, contact Ninoy Tower 118.1. 118.1, Cat 8902 heavy. Manila ground, Qantas Crew 0, heavy, parking, 108, request pushback and start up. Qantas 20, heavy, pushback and start up approved. Pushback and start up approved, Qantas Crew 0, heavy.
Manila ground, Philippine 307, heavy, runway vacated with Alpha.
Manila ground, Qantas 20, heavy, request taxi. Qantas 20, heavy, taxi to holding point 1113 via Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. Taxi to holding point runway 13 via Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Qantas 20, heavy. Philippine 307, heavy, taxi to gate 13 via Alpha, Delta.
Taxi to gate 13 via Alpha, Delta, Philippine 307, heavy.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Just to let you know that the cabin is secure for takeoff.
Thanks.
Just let me know when you're ready to go and I'll get the crew seated.
You can take your seats now. We're almost ready.
No problem. All stations seated for takeoff.
Type 625, heavy, contact Ninoy Tower 118.1. 118.1, type 625, heavy.
Very interesting way they have this set up. We actually have to go all the way behind the threshold, or we have to take off with a short runway. Don't want to do that. It's 7,379 feet. When you had a calculator up, we did have just a tiny little margin. Oh. All the way here. Even on the chart, yeah, here the airport's missing a taxiway there. Taxiway Hotel 5, so on this diagonal, I want to go even further back. Much longer taxi than it should be.
Manila ground, cool red 133, runway vacated with Alpha.
Also not very good if you're landing planes here. Following YT. Landing planes on runway 13, they have all these planes
Taxi to
I suppose you can line them up and wait, but it's not the best practice. Plane can't land back here, but just in case. Wouldn't want to have the planes lined up, but we have to go pretty far.
Philippine 890, contact Ninoy Tower 118.1.
118.1, Philippine 890. Manila Tower, Philippine 890, runway 13, ready for departure.
Philippine 890, wind 123 degrees at 5 knots, runway 13, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 13, cleared for takeoff, Philippine 890.
Before takeoff checklist down to the line. Flight controls checked, flight instruments checked, briefing confirmed. Lap setting config 1. We got our V1, rotate, V2, and flex temp set. TC set, ECAM memo takeoff no blue. Down to the line. Below the line, cabin crew advised. TCAS, ARA. Engine mode selected normal, packs on. Before takeoff checklist complete. Okay, here we go. Taking off. Runway 13.
Philippine 337, wind vacated. Contact ground 122.0.
Wind vacated, contact ground 122.0. Philippine 337.
Rotate. Maybe we didn't have that much runway at the end there.
Philippine 890, contact Manila, departure 124.8.
124.8, Philippine 890. Manila departure, Philippine 890, Olive 2 Charlie, departure at 900, climbing 9,200.
Philippine 890, radar contact, continue climb 9,200, QNH 1013.
Continue climb 9,200, Philippine 890.
Philippine 890, proceed direct Victor Oscar Tango Alpha Sierra, then is filed.
Proceed direct Victor Oscar Tango Alpha Sierra, Philippine 890.
Cabin crew, you're free to move around the cabin.
Philippine 209, heavy, contact Manila Center, 128.3. 128.3, Philippine 209, heavy.
Is it leggier than usual? Yeah, I'm wondering if it's because I have the bit rate higher. Maybe YouTube doesn't like that, but it's just this graphics card does not stream well. I guess I haven't been like paying attention to it, but now I'm noticing it, and it's possible for me to see. Which is why I'm recording these flights also, and hopefully be uploading them maybe at a hopefully better quality. Yep, I went with an AMD card, and AMD, at least the one I got, is not very good at streaming or recording a lot of movement. Oh. I think I'm landing. Oh, I'm the landing gear. Probably put the landing gear up. Probably do that. That's
128.4, Cafe 902, heavy.
Silly of us. That's why you have a checklist. After takeoff, checklist. Down to the line. Landing gear up. Flaps retracted. Packs on. Down to the line.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your...
I don't know why it plays that safety video or safety message outside the plane. It'd be fine if it did it when we were in the cabin, but...
Manila departure, Sabre Red 981, at 2 Charlie, departure at 2,000, 900, climbing at 9,300.
I was like, why are we going south to
Air
go to Taiwan because I saw the bay and I thought, hey, Manila is on the, when we're going north, it's on the right side of the bay. I'm seeing actually on our left. Well, if it's on our left, then it means we're going south. But we're actually over Laguna de Bay. Manila Bay is over there. Or, now it's over. On our, the bay is on our left and we're going north. And proceed direct to Hotas.
Manila departure, Qantas Crew 0, heavy, IPAP 2 Charlie, departure at 2000, climbing 8600.
Qantas 20, heavy, radar contact, continue climb 8600, QNH 1013.
Continue climb 8600, Qantas Crew 0, heavy.
Philippine 890, continue climb flight level 210.
Continue climb flight level 210, Philippine 890.
Cebu Air 981, continue climb 9000. Continue climb 9000, Cebu Air 981. Cebu Air 981, continue climb flight level 210. Continue climb flight level 210, Cebu Air 981. Qantas 20, heavy, continue climb 8200.
Continue climb 8200, Qantas Crew 0, heavy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign, so you are now free to move around the cabin.
Qantas 20, heavy, continue climb flight level 210.
Continue climb flight level 210, Qantas Crew 0, heavy.
After takeoff checklist down or below the line, bear reference, standard set. After takeoff checklist complete. Here with that discontinuity showing up. Fix that. Always beautiful when we're flying during the day to see just the amazing landscapes in the air, wherever we're at. Beautiful flying out of Manila. The Philippines is always such an interesting place. I mean, all the place names, there's like Valenzuela, and San Jose del Monte, and Santa Maria, San Fernando, and Mexico, and Angeles, Florida Blanca, flying over these areas. Forget we're in the Philippines, over in East Asia.
Philippine 8900, contact Manila Center 128.3.
128.3, Philippine 890.
Yeah?
Manila Center, Philippine
I like it.
890.
I mean, it's become like the plane I've flown the most probably in flight simulator by this point. I want to say the CRJ is catching up.
Philippine 890, radar contact. Continue climb.
Yeah, the Boeing one still feels a little strange to me. The 737 still feels strange to me, despite the fact that I flew that plane exclusively an X-plane. Our climb. Row. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you about the stream. I mean, the stream's going to be what the stream is. Like, there's not much I can do about it at this point. I'm going to look into some things, actually.
Proceed direct combo, Philippine 890.
Oh yeah, with the raccoon mask on this one. Yep. As you can see, it's the 75th anniversary Philippines Airlines livery. With the raccoon mask, you can also, there's also one without the raccoon mask. So I believe the link I have for the livery is a 2-pack, includes the mask and one without the mask for the 75th anniversary. Now, of course, I believe it's the 82nd anniversary by now. It's one on their YouTube channel, and they have their little Philippines Air, and that says 82 under it. Shalom, Benjamin. How are you doing? Yeah, I'm gonna try to today, maybe try to set aside some time to kind of, is there like a volcano down there, or like a, I just see it. Mountain? Very least. See if I can find some videos on how to try to make the stream using this graphics card a little bit better on YouTube.
Continue climb flight level 330. Continue climb flight level 330. Cebu Red 981.
Yeah, I love this camera view, these cockpit ones. Or not the cockpit, the cabin ones. Obviously, whenever you have a camera and you're in the plane, those are the most realistic. The drone camera is realistic. I mean, sometimes people are like, well, how can you have a camera outside the plane? It's like, well, you don't, you have a drone. You ever watch those videos where you have like an advertisement or whatever? Some of those are CGI, but most of them are. They fly a drone or they fly like a small plane and fly over it to pass. Now, of course, certain movements of the drone when I use the drone camera are not super very smooth and but oh, young brothers conscripted. Now, do you live in Israel? I suppose the comment there is answer enough.
Departure at flight level 310.
This one's actually not a terribly unrealistic view either. If you go on the, I believe the Boeing 78, like the newer planes, they do have this view. You can actually In the flight deck, you can flip on the camera to see this view. Of course, you don't have the sound. You don't have a microphone out there to bring the sound in. Screen flips with E. Go into the warning here.
Cafe 902 heavy. Proceed direct Malib. Then as filed. Proceed direct Mike Alpha Line India Bravo. Cafe 902 heavy.
Alright, just hit the Taban NAP1 BOR DME. Get our turn about 355 degrees, 354 degrees north. Well, I hope you're staying safe. Why does it tell me direct to Harbo?
Philippine 331, clear Charlie Alpha Bravo 7 Romeo, arrival. Clear Charlie Alpha Bravo 7 Romeo, arrival, Philippine 331.
Hello, Ben. Welcome in. Falling YT. Yeah, next is Hong Kong. Yep, we're flying Taiwan, Hong Kong, and then Hong Kong to Brunei. Yep. Yeah, I believe the Brunei, we're going to be on Royal Brunei in the 788, the Kuro mod. That gives us the Boeing 788, 787-800. I'm going to have to jump into that plane and just kind of take it for a spin to make sure I remember how to do things. It's not too complicated because it's not as detailed as the fly-by-wire mod or the CRJ or the Boeing or the ATR that I have, which are all I wouldn't say all those are study level. I'd say none of them are study level, but obviously a lot more detailed than any of the Azobo aircraft. Oh, yep, that's right, yeah. What's your hometown again? That way I can kind of keep an eye on when we flight planning where we're going.
Cool Red 093, clear target 3 Romeo, arrival. Clear Tango Alpha Delta Echo 3 Romeo, arrival, Cool Red 093.
Miri Sarawak? Where's Miri Sarawak like the... Oh, that's the province. Section. You're pretty close, because... Wait, you're right there near the border, or very close to Brunei. I didn't realize that.
Manila Center, Emirates 3 Kilo Victor, heavy, at flight level 200,
yeah, we might go over, possibly on our arrival. Hello, Muhammad.
Victor, heavy, radar contact, continue climb,
he's
flight
gonna
level 330.
likely move to Gibraltar.
Continue climb, flight level 330, Emirates 3 Kilo Victor, heavy.
Cool Red 093,
wow, that's crazy. Yeah, you're really close to Brunei. Yeah, so depending on the arrival route.
Continue descent 5,000.
That's going to be a little bit longer flight down to Brunei too from Hong Kong. But yeah, depending on the arrival route, the airport, possibly might go right over Miri. Or on our way out of Bandar. Bandar Seri Begawan. Where are we going after Brunei? Yeah, so next flight we're flying over to Hong Kong, then down to Brunei, then to Singapore. Oh, I bet you will fly over your hometown for sure as you go to Singapore.
Good morning once again from the cockpit. I hope all is well with you and you're enjoying flying with us so far. We've reached our cruise level and are currently flying at an altitude of 36,000 feet. We're making good progress towards our destination and expect to arrive on time as planned. Unless anything changes in the meantime, you'll next hear from me around the time we start our descent, so I'll leave you in the hands of our excellent cabin crew. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I would think for sure Singapore, because I mean, basically you just draw a straight line. Or just draw a straight line from Brunei to Singapore, and it's gonna go right over your hometown from that airport.
at 902 heavy. Proceed direct Sierra Alpha November Romeo Oscar, then as filed. Proceed direct Sierra Alpha November Romeo Oscar, Cathay 902 heavy.
Okay, we're at our cruise. 360.
Good morning once again from the cockpit. I hope you're enjoying the flight so far. Just to keep you updated, we look to be making good progress and are expecting to arrive on time as planned. We'll keep you posted if anything changes, but in the meantime enjoy the remainder of the flight and I'll speak to you again once we're about to start our descent. Thanks.
Yeah, for sure. Same with the Taiwan. Taiwan's gonna be pretty much like this too. It's amount of looks like we're not even moving, doesn't it? I guess I'm so used to using the time acceleration lately. I'll probably use a little time acceleration once we hit over the ocean. Take a few minutes off the flight. But right now, just taking in the scenery. Actually, don't have anywhere to. We have plenty of time this morning. Take a leisurely flight. Always the problem with the drone camera is it kind of tips over. Not a static camera. After Singapore, we're going to be headed to East Timor, Timor-Leste, Dili. And after Dili, we'll head over to Denpasar. I believe it's Bali, right? Is that Bali in Indonesia? And then we'll go from there, fly over to Jakarta, again in Indonesia. Then head up to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and up to Myanmar, Burma. Then down into Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Thailand, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India. So basically, yeah, right now going to a lot of these places I've already flown to back in X-Plane when I was doing my world tour. In X-Plane, I started my world tour in New Zealand, and I think I ended up doing 80 flights for the world tour. Didn't complete it in X-Plane, but flew New Zealand through the Pacific Islands. Missed a few that we finally picked up here, into East Asia as we're doing now, India, Nepal, all that, through the Middle East, and then down into Egypt. And Egypt's when I got to Egypt, that's when we got into Microsoft Flight Simulator. I did a few more of the flights on the world tour, continuing that world tour, and then I basically started the world tour over in Microsoft Flight Simulator wherever I left off that other one. And I believe we ended up starting this world tour in all places, I think Rwanda or somewhere like that, in the middle of Africa. But yeah, I have I have tons of images and pictures from my flights in X-Plane, but I kind of want to restart the world tour for here on YouTube, and so now there are 200 and, including this one, 74 maybe videos of world tour flight. There's actually more because there's some where they're aborted flights because the sim crashed or there was frame rate issue, streaming issue, or I believe there's one, I might have 2 videos for one leg of my flight where we ended up having to have an emergency landing, a diversion into, I think we were flying from Georgia to, I don't remember where it was, Georgia to Greece maybe? I'm trying to, I can't remember what it was, but we ended up having to land in Turkey somewhere, so. But all the flights, or eventually I'm going to get all the flights into its own playlist, like the definitive version of each flight. Right now the playlists are a little bit messy. If you go to the World Tour playlist on my YouTube channel, there's only like 5 or 6 of the videos in there. I'm kind of working on getting everything updated, and you can go back and you can watch my earlier videos where my hair is crazy or my camera's not as good or stream is a little bit more laggy, graphics are different, all that stuff. Kind of a time capsule. Up to the other side here. Wrong one. There it is. Yeah, there was something wrong. I think we were in the Airbus here, and there was something, I can't remember what it was, but we just lost. I'd have to go back and watch that video. I can't remember what it was, but we basically had to, it wasn't an emergency. It wasn't like we're falling out of the sky, but I think we had some issue that we wouldn't be able to make it safely all the way to our destination. We landed in some random place in Turkey. Yeah, we landed in Sinop Airport. The original flight was, it was Tbilisi, Georgia to Vienna. Flying Tbilisi to Vienna. We were going over the Black Sea. I'm not sure exactly the exact route, so the routing might have taken us to like the southern part of the Black Sea near Turkey, just in case. And we ended up having to divert to Sinop Airport, the small, regional kind of airport in Turkey. Then I had to do another flight from Sinop to Vienna. That's the only time I've not gone scheduled point to point, right? That flight was supposed to be Georgia to Austria, ended up being Georgia, Turkey, / Georgia to Turkey, or Georgia to Austria via Turkey. From time to time I play War Thunder. Every once in a while I go hardcore into it and play for like a week straight, or at least all my days off that I have. Any chance I can jump in there. I have so many games that I don't even want to look at my Steam. But I'm going to do it anyway. Here we go. Let's see. My Steam library. This is since, I'm trying to think when I first started buying games. Because for the longest time, I only had, I had the games that when I was younger, I had bought, or my parents had bought, like Star Wars games like Jedi Knight and those, which I've all rebought in Steam. Basically, I'm probably 2013, 2014. Actually, it would be like 2016 when I built my first gaming computer, which is now sitting off to my right, dead. I need to figure out what is the problem with it. If it's the motherboard, or if it's something big, or if it's just one little tiny thing that I could fix and then still have a secondary computer. If I go on my Steam, I have basically 150 games, and I'm sure there's a bunch of them I've never even played or barely played any. Or I've got like classic games that maybe at some point I'll go back. Of course, there's somewhere there's doubled up because there's remastered version. I've never seen the Roblox version. I think someone's showed me, or I've like looked at some videos. It's funny, I'm looking at some of my games, like some of the games I used to play a lot. I'm sure like one game I played a lot was SimCity. I played SimCity for 10 years. That was the exclusive game I played most of the time. But that wasn't on Steam, so I don't have like the hours. But I look at like some other games like Civil War 2, which is a American Civil War game, strategy game. Played that 170 hours. That was like one of my high gameplay games. Crusader Kings 2 is getting close to 170 hours. What else have I played a ton of? Skyrim? Skyrim, surprisingly, I've only played like 90 hours. I'm sure I've played probably a little bit more because I had it on Xbox as well when I was in China. Euro Truck Simulator, played that 175 hours, surprisingly. American Truck Simulator is a big one. I played that one 660 hours, so that's my big game probably. That. What did I have for War Thunder? I know I played that a ton. 300 low hours in War Thunder. Then of course Microsoft Flight Simulator, 2,050 hours.
Philippine 890, continue
This has become kind of an obsession.
Continue climb flight level 370, Philippine 890.
And in my mind, I've always kind of, I don't know where it was Funhouse on YouTube was a channel I used to watch all the time, and there's one guy who said, basically his idea was, if you pay $1 for a game, you should get $1 a game. Every $1 you pay for a game, you should get $1 hour of game. If you pay $60 for a game, you should be able to play that game for 60 hours before you toss it off to the side. Now, there's definitely a ton of games that I have not played, probably what I paid for. Now, Microsoft Flight Simulator, I've played, I've probably spent $1 for every hour. Or, I've definitely gotten the value out of it. 2,000 hours, probably spent, you know, I spent like $100 when I first purchased it. You know, various different things like planes and navigraphs. I mean, probably close to, I don't even want to think about how much I probably spent on, you know, everything related to this. But play it all the time, every time I have off. I have all my old Star Wars games. Star Wars Dark Forces, the OG, X-Wing, TIE Fighter, Rebellion. And of course, so the hours on those don't include all the hours I played back in the 90s, early 2000s. But yeah, sometimes I look at Steam and I just go, games. Some of these games would be so fun to like get back into them and play. Someday I'll go back, and especially once I upgrade my computer again, get a better graphics card. Yeah, Cairo to Jeddah, that one. Well, that one I didn't end up flying. We ended up ditching because that one I don't know if I ran out of fuel. I'm trying to figure out what happened on that one. I can't remember what happened. I'd have to go back and watch it. But yeah, we ended up just short of the airport. I mean, the airport is just beyond where we landed. Just couldn't make it. We had a ditch in the water there. Pretty close to the coast, though, so we were probably 10, maybe 20 feet out from the beach. Yeah, that was... haven't had too many of those. Kind of cleaned it up. We've been pretty successful. Firm landings, messed up arrivals, but haven't had any crashes lately. I remember if we've had any like real epic failures. We did. I had one flight where we flew remember where that was. It was out here in the Pacific, where we, I think, came in for the landing. Wasn't stabilized on the approach, so I did a go around. I'm full throttle for the go around. I think I put the landing gear up, and then suddenly the plane just lost all power, and we just nosedived right into the water on the other side of the island. So I actually, flew that flight again. Well, there are a few of those. You find them, and as I go through and I kind of curate and rebuild the, not only build the little map that you guys can check out, and I'm going to link to that in this playlist, I think. I don't know if I'll figure that out. But also, as I build the playlist again, I'll kind of, rediscover the stories of each of these flights, because they all have a story. Whether it's just kind of a ho-hum flight and we kind of just did some sightseeing, or we had an epic failure where we ended up in the water, or worse. Now we are going to have flights that I'm a little nervous about, especially a Paro, flying in a Paro into, what is that? Is that Bhutan? I did it in X-Plane. I believe in X-Plane I wiped out though on the landing. I can't remember. So close. But that was I think I only practiced that landing maybe once before I did it. Oh, you're playing FSX right now? Wow. Yeah, I think I actually, it's probably been a ton of time since I did this, but it seems like just a couple months ago, but it was probably 6-7 months ago. I finally uninstalled X-Plane, deleted all my satellite imagery for X-Plane 11, which originally I have an 8 terabyte hard drive that I bought exclusively, basically, for all my mods for X-Plane. And finally uninstalled all that, got rid of it, got rid of all that data because it was sitting there. I wasn't using X-Plane. Anytime I loaded up X-Plane, everything was out of date. So I was like, I'm not going to mess with this anymore. But it would be cool to kind of jump in and kind of relive X-Plane. Whenever I look back at my old photos from my flights, oh yeah, that's what it used to look like. I kind of forget what it looked like after being Microsoft Flight Simulator so long. Probably the same thing with going to FSX, where, oh my, a little different, but nostalgic at the same time. And maybe if I'm feeling really ambitious, we're going back to just this world tour, all these flights and all the little stories. If I'm feeling really ambitious and I have the time someday, I might go back and pull those videos down. I mean, not pull them down, but like pull the videos, go in and edit them and make like some compilations or kind of shorter versions of the flight, because all the flights are available in full length, I think. I don't think I have. There might be a couple where I cut them down, but not many. All of them are just the full flight. But it'd be kind of cool to kind of just edit out areas like this, where we're having the conversation, which is cool, but where, or speed this part up where you just get to see us flying over the ocean.
And ask if everything was going okay.
Yes, everything is fine. Thanks for asking.
Great.
Of course, a lot of my more recent World Tour videos I have been more liberally using time compression, But when we do have a 6-hour flight, it's not just 6 hours, but those early ones, probably the first 150, 200 World Tour flights, all real time. So if it's an hour flight, it's an hour stream, hour and a half stream probably. So plenty of mistakes, plenty of videos you can reference if you're trying to figure out how to operate the A320 or the CRJ. Well, for the CRJ, I'd recommend you check out my SkyWest series that I'm doing. I'm flying in a pilot's life, and I'm flying that plane like crazy right now. But I know guys come in all the time and they're like, hey, how do I don't know how to fly this plane, how to set up the FMS or get the plane started. Hey, I got 200, I've got probably, at this point, probably 300 at least Microsoft Flight Simulator videos of flights. And every single one I'm setting up the cockpit of whatever plane I'm flying. So, check those out. But yeah, right now it's like I just don't have the time to sit down and make a compilation or make a I would love to make like a videos showing how to start the cockpit, you know, because those are videos people are going to search for and click on versus just a live stream like this. But I also like to fly, not make videos always. I'd rather just, you know, my little limited amount of time I can get in and fly, I just want to fly flights. And now I'm kind of going from both sides. It's like I want to do this, get this world tour, do these world tour flights, but I also want to fly my pilot's life too and fly the regional stuff. I got one more flight, and I'm probably going to do that this afternoon, flying from Birmingham, Alabama up to Chicago O'Hare. That's my last SkyWest Airlines flight I'm going to do for a while at least. Then I'm going to jump over and do Ibex Airlines, which is out of Japan. Show off all the really good freeware Japanese airport upgrades that people have made. Lots of love and care for those. And I'm debating if I want to stream all of those. I haven't been streaming every single one of them. Recording them, those are going to come out as kind of recorded things. But every once in a while, I do stream those flights. Deciding if I want to just stream those on Twitch or over here on YouTube. I'm kind of, at least right now, getting away from streaming to both at the same time, just because if I'm streaming to Twitch, the YouTube quality is even lower because I can only stream at such a certain quality or a certain bitrate for Twitch, which Twitch makes look fine, but YouTube it's not good at all. For some reason, when I watch, I can play back the same stream on Twitch and YouTube, watch them at the same time, and the quality on Twitch is so much better than the same stream on YouTube. Oh, that's a little bit behind the curtain talk, but it is. So we're about halfway between find the name of this map of we'll name the island properly. There's a plane going the other direction. Okay, yeah. So I thought it was. We're halfway between Luzon, which is the kind of the main island of the Philippines, one we all think of. I think it's the biggest one, where Manila is located. Northern island. I think the Philippines is made up of 1,000 islands or so. We're halfway between Luzon and Taiwan right now. I'm not sure what the use of the mask on the Airbus Neo is. If I can find some. Alright, let's see what Reddit has to say about this. Okay, some airlines have adopted cockpit glass masks as part of their livery, regardless of whether the manufacturer recommends them. Two examples that come to mind are Swiss for contoured masks and Air Canada for thick masks. Okay. Another one, it has a function on A350s, it's often painted on Neos, emulate their big sister A350. Okay, so like on the Neo, it's just kind of a visual thing to kind of make it look same as the A350, I guess. The style choice in the Neos, like how Air Canada paints large masks on all their planes to make their feel look harmonious, even though it's made up of Airbus and Boeing aircraft. Ooh, did they put masks on the Boeing also? I'm gonna say I've seen masks on Boeings too, right? I never thought to ask like what's the use of the mask. I figured it was like just a visual thing. Here's an actual article. Simple flying. Why does Airbus's latest aircraft wear a mask around the windscreen? Not just aesthetic. While the windshield mask certainly looks striking and unique, the reason for having it is not just aesthetic. To understand the masking, we must first understand the unique windshield design on new Airbus planes. Let me pull this. Get a visual of what I'm reading, so. Not just aesthetic. According to Virgin Atlantic, the curved windshield design on these aircraft increases the overall aerodynamic efficiency of the planes. A350 was the first Airbus aircraft to feature a curved cockpit glass, which allows the airflow to hug the surface of the glass with less turbulence and thereby reduce drag. Those are nice and curved. Additionally, the window's concave design along the nose of the aircraft gives pilots a better view of ground operations at the airport. Yet what about the black masking around the windshield? Black masking on this new windshield serves a purpose too, according to Airbus. The emblematic Ray-Ban-like black windshield eases the window's maintenance and contributes to harmonizing thermal condition of this temperature-sensitive window area.
Philippine 8990, okay. Contact Taipei Center 124.6.
124.6, Philippine 890.
Put simply, this means the black color adjusts better to the temperatures surrounding the aircraft. Planes routinely undergo rapid temperature changes, taking off from hot airports in the cold atmosphere. All parts must adjust to this change. Thus, the Zorro mask boosts both the efficiency and safety of the aircraft. These two factors are priorities for carriers across the globe.
Continue climb flight level 370, Philippine 890.
Yeah, that one didn't say anything about it being purely aesthetic though for the Neos, like ours. It wants to climb to 370. It's possible. I mean, that's, yeah, airlines just, they, especially those lower budget, smaller airlines. Kind of just come and go. Yeah, those. It's always nice, and some of those smaller airlines, they also have like flights that go places not only cheaper but also go places that the other ones don't. Like I was saying yesterday, it's like I don't know what I was doing, but it's like I saw like Midwest Express again mentioned somewhere. I saw like a picture of Midwest Express, and I was like, wouldn't it be cool if Midwest Express was back? And it looked like Midwest Airlines. That was also Midwest Express, but like it looked like the logo was new. I'm like, oh, is there a new? Have they brought it back? And I had heard rumblings that they're working on bringing it back to Milwaukee, but I still haven't seen it. It looks like they were kind of going to work with, like, I think Elite Airways, but they cut that membership or that partnership, and they were planning on having flights and stuff at the end of last year or something, and nothing's come to fruition. And it'd be really cool to have a airline based out of Milwaukee again. I mean, we do have Air Wisconsin, which is a regional carrier for American Airlines now, and they got hubs in Milwaukee and Appleton, but that's, again, a small regional airline. I mean, Midwest was kind of regional as well, but I think it used to be kind of its own thing. Yeah, they merged with Frontier, that's right. They're under Republic Airways. Yeah. Well, that's the struggle with those smaller airlines, is that, you know, economic, just little things can knock them out really easily. I mean, you see it here in the U.S. A lot of these regional airlines are, you know, they're fighting with basically their parent. I don't really want to say they're not all parent companies, but they're bigger, you know, the major airlines, all of them, you know, like American, United, Delta, Alaska Airlines. Those are your big four in the U.S. Well, you have your big three, and then like Alaska and Southwest and Hawaiian are pretty big too. But at least United, Delta, American, and Alaskan Airlines, they all have regional flights that fly in the CRJs or the ERJs. But they contract out with, those flights are all operated by people like SkyWest, Republic Airways, Mesa, Horizon Air, Envoy, PSA, Piedmont. There's all these regional carriers that, you know, when you buy a ticket, you're buying through Delta, you're buying through United, and even the liveries on those planes are United or Delta or American or whatever. But the actual company flying the plane is a different thing. So, you know, and so they're competing for pilots. They're competing, you know, these regional airlines. We talk about this pilot shortage. Regional airlines, they're the ones with the pilot shortage, really, because the major airlines, they just call up and say, hey, we're taking this guy, because that's the goal for most pilots, is to get to the big airlines where you get paid the most. And so they're constantly, you know, they're pulling pilots from the regionals going higher. And so the regionals are the ones that always have to be kind of restocking. And, you know, because of the shortage, they're starting to cut routes. And when you cut routes, then you make less money, and then it kind of snowball effects, and some of these regionals are going under left and right. And then other airlines are popping up and replacing them. So it's a volatile kind of market. It looks like we're starting to get over Taiwan. See some land down there. Coming up on it. That's actually a tail bottom. Another tip of Taiwan. I think the old Malaysian Airlines livery looked better, though they were very simple. Hey, a completely different color for a while there. See one picture here. This one. Never seen this one. Actually, that's the one I'm more. Okay, so that's the old livery. Yeah. What are you talking about? Good. All right.
Philippine 8990, expect Tango November 1 Alpha, arrival, GNIOS, approach, runway 05 right, report when ready for descent.
Expect Tango November 1 Alpha, arrival, Jamie ILS, approach, runway 05 right, report when ready for descent, Philippine 890.
Alright, ILS 05 right. Basically, we had everything in correct. There it is. Tango November 1 Alpha, Jammy. Alright. Ready for descent.
Philippine 890, ready for descent.
Philippine 890, descent flight level 190.
Descent flight level 190, Philippine 890.
I forget to let the crew know that we were descending soon. That's right. This plane is linked up actually with self-loading cargo. Like if you turn the lights off or the seatbelt signs off, it'll turn them off. Self-loading cargo, vice versa. I always forget that. I don't think it does. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way with any other like third-party planes. Let's. What I want to do? I want to descend. Right, descend down to. $19,000. What airlines fly into Brunei? I don't know because. Well, I lived there for 4 years. The airport is quite far. Let's see. AirAsia, Cebu Pacific. So AirAsia goes between Kuala Lumpur and Brunei. Cebu Pacific is Manila. Then Royal Brunei Airlines goes to Bangkok, Suvarnabhumi, Beijing Daxing. That's interesting. They go to Royal Brunei goes to Daxing, not the capital, Beijing. Dubai International, Hangzhou. Unfortunately, we don't have Hangzhou modeled in the sim. Ho Chi Minh City, Hong Kong, Jakarta, Karnohata, Kota Kinabalu, not sure what that is, Kuala Lumpur International, Kuping, London Heathrow, Manila, Melbourne, Seoul Incheon, Shanghai Pudong, Singapore, Surabaya, Taipei, Taiwan, where we're going right now, Tokyo, Narita, a seasonal flight out to Jeddah, and then also Singapore Airlines. So you have AirAsia, Cebu Pacific, and Singapore Airlines.
We've started our descent.
Basically, AirAsia goes to Kuala Lumpur, Cebu Pacific to Manila, Singapore Airlines to Singapore. Otherwise, everything is Royal Brunei, has a bunch of places.
Once that happens, the seatbelt sign will be illuminated and you will be required to stay seated and secured until after landing.
Not a crazy
If you need to visit the toilet, it may be worth making your way towards one now. You'll next hear from me after landing, so I will wish you a very good morning once again, and I'll speak to you in a short while.
So, coming into Taiwan, looking a lot like our flights over the US lately, where it's just all clouds.
Philippine 890, proceed direct Tango November November.
Proceed direct Tango November November, Philippine 890.
Pull up the chart for the STAR, the standard terminal approach route. Doing confusing me because they got these different names. Then there's what it actually. We're doing the Tango November 1 Alpha. Singang. Well, because Sigang is the actual WOR name right there. Unfortunately, we can't really see on the ground, but this is like the populated part of Taiwan. Of course, it's mountainous, so a few villages, but here it's all farms and cities. Anything altitude? Okay, I think 5,000, that's your minimum. To our ILS, runway 05, Taipei, Taiwan. Localizer is X, 110.7, final approach 54 degrees. Capture X at 600 feet, or 4.9 nautical miles out from X. 100 feet, so that's the glide slope. Airport elevation 108, runway 107. Cat 1 and 2 ILS. Missed approach, we're going to climb 54-degree heading. 9.6 out from X, then turn left, direct to Dedham, and maintain 3,000. Cross section Huko, we're at 4,000 feet. There, Big Jammy, we're also at 4,000. The approach fix. Tulip, we got 2,500, and 1,600. Capture the glide slope. And minimums. I always forget if we're B or D.
Clear Tango November
We'll go with the higher one here.
Arrival.
I think we're just Cat 1.
Clear
Right?
Tango November 1 Alpha,
I
arrival,
always forget my
Philippine
categories.
890.
Just go with Cat 1. I always kind of stick with the higher minimum. 334 feet. Yeah, I've noticed that a lot. There are a lot more A350s, I would assume, right? Kind of replacing those 777s and 787s. Of course, you have Korean Air, which still has 747. Or, yeah, 747. At QNH, 1017. Wind 70 degrees, 11 knots. Perfect. Lead there. Radio, X, 11 or 1127, 54 degrees. Alright, see you, Falling YT. Thanks for stopping by.
Dynasty 177, expect Yankee Alpha November Micro Alpha arrival, ILS, approach, runway 09, report when ready for descent. Expect Yankee Alpha November Micro 1 Alpha, arrival, ILS, approach, runway 09, report when ready for descent, Dynasty 177. Dynasty 177, ready for descent. Dynasty 177, descend and maintain flight level 210. Descend and maintain flight level 210, Dynasty 177. Philippine 890, contact Taipei approach 125.1.
125.1, Philippine 890. Taipei approach, Philippine 890, Tango November 1 Alpha, arrival at flight level 200, descending flight level 190.
Philippine 890, radar contact, continue descent 4000, QNH 1017.
Continue descent 4000, Philippine 890.
Cebu Air 300, turn left heading 050, cleared ILS, approach at 1600, runway 05 right, report established on localizer. Left heading 050, cleared ILS, approach at 1600, runway 05 right, report established on localizer, Cebu Air 300. Star Rocket 742, fly heading 090. Fly heading 090, Star Rocket 742.
Yeah, off behind us was Taichung, one of the bigger cities in Taiwan, one of the major cities, along with Taipei, Taoyuan, Hsinchu, Taichung, and Kaohsiung, your major ones. Tainan also. There's like 5 or 6 bigger cities and a number of smaller ones, obviously. I know we're saying, I say we're flying to Taipei. We're not really flying to Taipei. We're not even the same province as Taipei, but it basically is the airport, the international airport at least. I think that if you're flying in to Taiwan anywhere, almost you're going to Taoyuan. I'm wondering how far that is from Central District of Taipei. Probably not much further than a lot of places. A lot of airports.
Star Rocket 742. Star Rocket 742, fly heading 065, cleared ILS, approach.
Cabin crew, prepare the cabin for landing.
Runway 05 right, report established on localizer.
25 miles west of the capital, so decent distance, but kind of put that in reference as far as like O'Hare from downtown. Yeah, O'Hare is 17 miles from downtown Chicago, so Shanghai Pudong is 19 miles from the city center, so not too far out. Just kind of looks like it. Alright, we're just about 10,000 feet. With the spoilers on, hold down that speed. spoilers actually work. Problem is I have my spoilers linked to, or what'd you call it? Word escapes me, but on my joystick there's a slide that I had to control the spoilers, but it doesn't really work to make them go anywhere. And all it does is if you have it in the down position, it makes it that you can't have it actually use spoilers. And that's what kept happening to me when I was in this plane. I was like, why can't I use the spoilers on this plane? I'd set those. So I'm actually going to have to turn those off. Get rid of that because it only works on this plane and it doesn't actually really control anything except for turning it off, retracting it. Which can be useful actually. Well, you see speed rake out. Turn on our landing lights.
Cabin crew, seats for landing, please.
Cleared Bravo Alpha Kilo Echo 1 Alpha, arrival. Cleared Bravo Alpha Kilo Echo 1 Alpha, arrival, Bravo 7, heavy. Star Walker 742, established on localizer. Star Walker 742, continue approach. Continue approach, Star Walker 742.
Star Walker. Starwalker. For Starlux Airlines, okay. Go. Starlux, okay, that's a. Oh yeah, Starlux sounded familiar. Airline. Starlux.
Starwalker 742.
Brake's still out. Yeah, you don't have it out anymore.
1.8.7. 1.8.7. Starwalker 742.
Well, that's kind of weird how it has so the little site I go to see like call signs is called 123atc.com, and it lets you know the 3-letter designation. So like for Starwalker is the call sign, for Starlux Airlines, here at Juliet X-Ray, SJX, country of origin China, except it isn't the country of origin. Well, depends on your I guess it depends on the politics, right? Yes, People's Republic of China claims Taiwan as its own, but of course Taiwan claims that it's its own thing and claims the rest of mainland China over there as part of it, the Republic of China. Technically, Starlux is a Taiwanese airline. That's why we're here in Starwalker. And coming up on Jammy. We're a little bit over 4,000, but that's fine. The Huko 4,200 knots. Get the Huko. Don't have anything about that speed part, but pretty good idea to get down to that speed. So go here.
Traffic.
There's traffic right there. They're probably coming in on the same exact approach.
Right heading 095, Philippine 890.
They're going to stay higher than us, though.
Dynasty 117, heavy. Turn left heading 090. Left heading 090. Dynasty 117, heavy.
Dynasty. Flaps 1, speed brake, ground spoilers armed. Have enemy system engaged. We're not going to really get a view of Taipei here. You can see even feels a little bit like China, but not the greatest photo imagery.
890, turn left heading 070.
Left
Down
heading
there, that is
070, Philippine 890.
Hubei City. And the other airport right there, that is
turn left heading
Air Base.
060.
Left heading 060, Philippine 890.
Dynasty 117, heavy, turn left heading 065. Left heading 065, Dynasty 117, heavy. Philippine 890, turn left heading 055, cleared ILS, approach at 1,600, runway 05 right, report established on localizer.
Left heading 055, cleared ILS, approach at 1,600, runway 05 right, report established on localizer, Philippine 890.
Dynasty 117, heavy, fly heading 065, cleared ILS, approach at 1,600, runway 05 right, report established on localizer. Fly heading 065, cleared ILS, approach at 1,600, runway 05 right,
Flaps
report
3.
established on localizer, Dynasty 117, heavy.
Right, approach speed is going to be 138 knots. Landing speed 133. Approach briefing confirmed. ECAM status checked. Seatbelts on. Barrow 1017 set for both. Radio barrow set. Engine mode normal. Landing cabin crew. Advised. Auto throttle. Speed 180. ECAM memo. Landing no blue.
2,500.
IVFR are releasing a A330 Neo. No, I didn't hear that. They'll fill in. Hopefully it'll be. All depends on what kind of release that is.
Philippine 890, established on localizer.
Philippine 890, continue approach.
Continue approach.
Because we do have headwinds, but of course headwinds just uses the A32NX cockpit. So I'm not paying for something that's just using a cockpit. It's actually going to be real modeled, and that's going to be good. And we have Digital Dynamics still working on their A350, which I think is going to be free. Yeah, Bluebird, I believe, is working on, what do they work on, 757 or something?
Dynasty 117.
A lot of planes coming, and yeah, hopefully these planes are going to work for both the current version, Microsoft Flight Simulator, and of course 2024 coming out next year at some point. I don't think I'm going to be getting, but we'll see. Okay, landing gear down.
Philippine 890, contact Taipei Tower 118.7.
118.7, Philippine 890.
Taiwan, Pilot 224, heavy.
Taipei Tower, Philippine 890, on final, 05 right.
Philippine 890, wind 045 degrees at 5 knots, cleared to land 05 right.
Cleared to land, 05 right, Philippine 890.
Taipei Tower, Dynasty 117, heavy, on final, 05 right.
1,000. 1,000.
117, heavy, continue approach.
Continue approach, Dynasty 117, heavy.
I'm going to be looking to exit at a Sierra 7 or Sierra 8, which will be a straight there, and that'll take us right to Echo. We're going to be parking on the other side of the airport, actually. So, getting right up to Echo, we'll just go cut right across. Yeah, I'm probably, you know, yeah, there's no, I'm not really like, oh, I need to have it. Hey, autopilot, auto throttle off. Yeah, you know, just the way I'm budgeting also this next year, my focus is going to be on flight training, hopefully.
400.
And all the money's going towards that, or
400.
So, I mean, granted, Flight Simulator is only going to be, what, 100, you know, I'll probably spend $100 on getting Flight Simulator 2024, but that's $100 that could be used for we'll see. But I probably won't. I'll probably just stick with this for now. I don't know. I'm not going to make a definitive statement, but there's not like an urgent need. Unless they come out with something
40,
that just blows this one
30,
away.
20, 10, 5.
Philippine 890, when vacated, contact ground 121.7.
Bursers, 80 knots, 70 knots. Okay. Got stopped a lot faster than I was planning. Alright. Yeah, there are some details that you are right about that, but it is basically and it uses the fly-by-wire A32X and everything. But there are some details, like some of these knobs are moving. But it's clearly not an A330 cockpit. But like I said, I use it whenever an A330 flight comes up. I decide to use it. I use it. So, I'm a free kind of guy. I like to use free stuff if I can. If it works, it's decent enough. Alright, we're going to
taxi to gate Alpha 1 via Sierra 6, Quebec 2, Quebec Echo Charlie, November Papa, Philippine 890.
We're going to gate Alpha 1. Be at Quebec 2. We're on Quebec 2 right now. We're not. They wanted us to go the other way because they're jerks. Wait, Quebec 2. Echo 3. Thinking this airport's just a little funky as well. We're gonna go this way, it just makes more sense. Again, if I could have exited right up here at Echo, just shot straight across. Eva, China Air, obviously FedEx right there. Tiger Air. I always love seeing the different liveries. There's a Starlux right in front of us. Right, I need to get going here. I thought I had more time this morning than I do. You start up. We're gonna get to the gate, do a really quick debrief, and get out of here. I got 20 minutes. I need to throw some pants on. My son's 2-year-old. Well, he's not 2 yet. A few more months, but just about 2-year-old. Right now he's doing the Milwaukee Recreational Department. He's got some like a little sports class, kind of just introducing him to basketballs and stuff, and they just kind of play around, a bunch of little kids. I don't know how many more classes of that. Every Tuesday he has that, and a few more. It's only half the half the season, and then the other half he's doing like a gonna have a same place, but they're gonna play with like Thomas the Tank Engine kind of stuff. So he'll play with like model trains, I would guess. Weird. Hey, he'd love that. Alright, is this gonna be Alpha 1? No, I think that's gonna be Alpha 1. There in that corner. I want to make sure because we had that tiger there. Look at that. That is beautiful. Those colors. Whew. Love it. Love to see it. I love it when there's all the planes parked. It doesn't really hit our frame rate too bad here in Taiwan. Most airports, they had all these planes, it'd be killing us. X. Okay. 1. 2. Taxi light off. Turn off lights. Off. Further are you gonna have me go here? Parking brake set. Flaps retracted. Rope should be up. We have lead. Throttle power still on. Never turned that off. And off the engines.
Boarding requested.
Ground to cockpit. Go ahead. Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please. Loud and clear. Roger. Cabin crew, the aircraft is secure. Please open the doors when ready. You're clear to begin deboarding. Okay, Captain. Ground power is available. Stand by. We'll start getting you offloaded in a couple of minutes. Roger.
Beautiful gates for this generic airport, courtesy of GSX. Let's see. I'm not trying to promote it or anything. Just thought you might like it. Oh yeah, no problem. No problem. No, that's just that's totally cool. You're not. Yeah, of course. It's always cool to hear what's coming down the pipeline. All right, let's take a look at Valanta really quick. That flight. First person to arrive in Taoyuan today. And hour 44 flight time, landing rate -182, not too bad. 704 miles, fuel burn just under 4,000. Landing speed, we're a little bit slow, kind of floated. 162 passengers getting off the plane right now. Looking beautiful here with the logo and all that. Oh, cool. Now let's take a look at the world tour map. And today we zoom on in right here. Field Taiwan. The next flight will be flying over to Hong Kong, then from Hong Kong down to Brunei right there. Alright, thanks for coming along on this flight. Hope you enjoyed it. Next one will be probably sometime next week for the World Tour flight. Keep an eye out. Tomorrow, I think, another video for the Sky West regional flying will be going up on YouTube. Yeah, next World Tour one will be flying over to Hong Kong. That will be sometime next week. I work for the rest of the week. Don't know my schedule yet for next week, so keep an eye on that, and hope to see you all there. And until next time, happy flying. Take care. Yep, done. I have done Zimbabwe, so do a search for it on my channel and you'll definitely find it. All right, I will see you sometime next week.